look up when you're walking on the streets of New York. You weren't expecting. White and smelly, and it's real duty, if you know what I mean, walking down the streets of our area.
Something white and smelly, real duty.
Yeah, it can be a nasty surprise on your head.
You were a wordsmith like nobody I've ever worked with before.
Yes.
It says here in our notes from our producer, the pigeons are hanging out at 46th Street, 52nd Street, and 61st Street on the number 7 subway stations, causing, quote, fecal mayhem. Fecal mayhem. Joining us from Woodside, City Councilman Jimmy Van Bramer. Councilman, is fecal mayhem an overstatement, or is it truly mayhem from above?
I think it's an accurate statement that here in Sunnyside and Woodside, people have to dodge pigeon poop as if they were dancing through raindrops, but instead of raindrops, it's pigeon droppings that can ruin your suit and ruin your day.
Councilman, is it any worse in your neighborhood than it is in anybody else's? I know, because if you go to like 85th Street and 3rd Avenue in Manhattan, you think it's a scene out of The Birds with all the pigeons on, you know, all the lampposts and stuff.
Well, I haven't seen every station. I know this is an issue for other lines in the city of New York, but obviously I have the privilege of representing Sunnyside and Woodside. My constituents here have been dealing with this for decades. They've asked me to solve it. That's why we've come up with this solution.
So what are you doing?
Well, we went to the MTA. We asked, how can we get rid of the pigeons? And they said they would like to install a first-of-its-kind ultrasound device which will scare the pigeons away. They only hear hawk sounds, which scare them away. It's inaudible to human ears. They're also going to put more spikes, netting, and other devices to keep pigeons away from the places near the entrances to these stations, which is exactly where people have to go at least 2 times a day to go to work and come home from work, and where they are in danger of being hit by pigeons.
Councilman, is this a humane way to do this, the spikes?
I'm told that all of these methods are humane, that the pigeons will not be harmed in any way. They'll be deterred, but not harmed, and we believe they're all humane.
What's the cost of this, and who's picking up the cost?
Well, I've allocated $250,000 in capital funding from our district's discretionary pot, and that's to address a very serious quality of life concern that people in this district have been worried about for quite some time, and it's about time that we clean up these stations, which are really the gateway to our neighborhoods. No one wants a visitor coming to our neighborhoods to see for the first time Sunnyside or Woodside through the eyes of pigeon droppings all over the street when they come into our neighborhoods.
Well, where do you think they're going to go? I mean, because you're not getting rid of them, you're just basically displacing them.
Right. Well, obviously we want to move them away from the highest traffic areas, and we certainly don't want them hanging above the entrances and the exits to these stations. Obviously, we want to make sure that people stop feeding the pigeons and stop encouraging them, but what's most important at this particular time is that they are not sitting and flying and resting and pooping right above the entrances to these stations, which is hitting people as they go to work. And I've been hit myself several times. So people in Woodside and Sunnyside know this is an issue, and we need to move them away.
Are your fellow councilmen poo-pooing this, if you will, or are they looking at this as kind of a pilot program to see if they might bring this to subway stops in other parts of the city? Because it's a problem, as you mentioned, Ro, in a lot of different places.
Yeah, no, I haven't talked to any of my colleagues yet. I'm sure I'll get some phone calls today and we'll talk about this. Obviously, we want to make sure that it works and we find a solution to this problem. I think if we do, I wouldn't be surprised if other people take the same approach, because this is not just an issue that faces my constituents. I know it faces lots of other areas.
Councilman Jimmy Van Bramer, we're going to keep an eye on this one, and you as well. Thank you so much for being on Good Day New York this morning.
Thank you.
All right.
Notice he's standing a few feet from the subway station.
I know. There's nothing, you know, it's happened to me. I thought it's supposed to be good luck, by the way.
Yeah, if that's good luck, you know what?
I'll take my chances.
Yeah.